Like most families, the beginning of every day had become a predictable routine for the Rollisons of Port St. Lucie, Florida. But on February 21st, 1987, their orderly routine was shattered. It was early Tuesday morning. Gail Rollison was beginning to get ready for work.
The three older kids were in the living room watching TV, and Denise was in the adjoining family room playing with toys. I started the wash and waited till the washer was filled with water. Every single morning at 8 o'clock, I took a shower, and the other kids went to the bus stop at 8:10. As soon as it was done filling up, I said, I'm going to take a shower now.
Watch the baby.
And no one was specifically in charge of watching the baby. It was just something that I did it every morning. It was like a routine thing.
Her husband had already left for work, but Gail was confident her three older children could look after 18-month-old Denise. Gail was in the shower for less than 10 minutes.
I saw Denise's chair by the washer, and it's never over there. It was like something come over me, and there was something telling me that something's wrong.
My mom just freaked out. I mean, she did not know what to do at all. And I called 911. My brother ran to Carlin's. She just looked dead.
Horton.
The call for help came in at 8:11 a.m.
Okay, how old is the baby?
I was home in bed, sleeping. The next thing I knew, Jeremy was just rapping on the windows and called me to come over to the house that something was wrong.
Carlin Korb rushed next door to help. From 3 miles away, paramedics also headed to the scene.
From the time a patient stops breathing and the heart stops, between 4 and 6 minutes, brain death begins. After 10 minutes of not having CPR done, there is essentially no chance of bringing them back.
I just knew I had to do it. I didn't know if I could do it right, if it would help. And I just started doing the CPR.
Carlin had not taken a first aid course in years.
Like at first I couldn't remember how to do it. And then I started doing it and pushing on her chest and breathing into her mouth. And then I remembered that you had to tilt the net back. I didn't know if she was going to make it or not.
Wait outside for the ambulance to go outside.
Her skin was all bubbly and it just looked like different colors, like blue and real deep pink, and her eyes had a very far away look. I remember talking to Gail and telling her to try to calm down, and she kept saying that it was her fault, and I kept saying, no, it wasn't, it was an accident.
Within 9 minutes of the call for help, paramedic Tim Munson and EMT Greg Sorensen got to the Rollisons' house.
First arrived on scene, the mother was hysterical. When you see a child just laying there lifeless, it scares you.
She was cyanotic. Cyanosis is a discoloration of the skin, usually blue in color. It's brought on by lack of oxygen. Most of the time, when you see something with that much discoloration, that much cyanosis, chances of bringing it back are almost non-existent. The thing that kept her viable was the neighbor doing CPR. That's what spans the time. She was not only sending the blood around the body by doing the compressions, but she was also breathing for the baby.
I picked her up myself and did mouth-to-mouth out to the truck, because by that time we had had a pulse.
I felt helpless. Like there was nothing I could do. It was already too late.
Okay, bag.
We didn't know how long she had been under the water in the washing machine. We don't know if she had brain damage or not.
If you can hear me, squeeze my hand, Denise. Her color started to change within just a few moments of when we started breathing her.
Man, I'm ready to get out of here.
It felt like someone died in my family. I don't know why. It just felt like someone died, and I just kept on crying and crying.
11-year-old Tracy blamed herself for the accident.
I felt guilty about what happened and everything. I was the oldest. I was the one that was supposed to be responsible of what is going on in the house when my mom's not around.
At the local hospital, Denise was examined by Dr. Hamid Gundabda.
She was unresponsive, like in coma. She was not breathing on her own. I was almost sure that either she was not going to make it or she was going to be mentally retarded if she did make it.
Dr. Gundabda decided to airlift Denise to Shands Hospital's Pediatric Intensive Care Unit 200 miles away in Gainesville. There she was treated by the director of the unit, pediatrician Sal Goodwin.
Denise, when she first arrived at our hospital, she was in a deep coma. Unquestionably, the biggest problem in a near-drowning patient is the degree of brain injury that has occurred as a result of lack of oxygen. In this situation, the odds are very much against a good survival.
Dr. Goodwin was forced to prepare Gail and her husband Dennis for the possibility that their baby daughter might never come out of the coma.
Well, she's a very, very sick little girl. There was a sudden point in the conversation where you could see that Denise's mother realized what was happening. That all of a sudden this healthy, happy 18-month-old who'd never had a problem in her life was on the verge of dying.
I didn't know what to say. I mean, Gail really, took it real hard. When you see someone laying there like that, it was just, you're helpless.
I couldn't hold her. She wasn't awake, but I still had to be there. And I felt like she knew I was there.
For 2 days and 2 nights, Gail stayed by Denise's bedside.
I felt real guilty for what had happened to Denise, because I was the one here. I should have been the one responsible for it.
Next morning, got up, walked over to the hospital, and little Denise yelled out, "Daddy!" It's like it was, fine. Not because she was fine, but she wasn't in a coma anymore.
When she came out of it and she recognized every one of us, then I knew there was nothing wrong with her. She had a favorite blanket she called the Lala, and that's the first thing she wanted was her Lala. So I knew she was all right.
Denise was hospitalized for a month with a serious lung disease caused by the laundry detergent she had inhaled. 3 years later, she is completely recovered.
I think the neighbor, if she would have been there, we would have had nothing to work with. Absolutely nothing. Without the neighbor, the child would probably be dead now.
It makes me feel good, that she is alive because of what I did. Learn CPR. That's the only lesson I can say. Anybody that lives near water or pools or has children should know it.
Prevention is the name of the game in near drowning. Keeping an eye on children and putting fences around the pools with self-closing, latching gates to know basic CPR.
It was very scary. I almost drowned.
It was a miracle. I don't know how to explain the feeling I had. It was just like the greatest feeling you could imagine. They say miracles don't really happen, but miracles do happen. I saw one.
I don't wash clothes anymore.